You wake up tired, but you still try again. You make plans. You set goals. You watch motivational videos. You tell yourself, this time will be different. And for a moment, you believe it. But after a few days, something pulls you back. Same habits, same doubts, same quiet frustration. You think the problem is your discipline, but actually, that may not be true. Maybe you are not lazy. Maybe you are not weak. Maybe other people are not stronger than you. Maybe they are just not trapped in the same system. Because sometimes being stuck is not about effort. It is about the invisible pattern that keeps resetting your life. Until you see that pattern, escape feels like running inside a locked room. But here's what you don't see at first. Being stuck does not always look dramatic. It looks normal. It looks like scrolling for 10 more minutes. It looks like delaying one small task. It looks like saying, I will start tomorrow. And because nothing breaks, you ignore it. But slowly, this becomes your life pattern. You wake up, repeat, regret, and promise again. You think you are choosing comfort, but actually, your mind is choosing the familiar. Even when familiar makes you unhappy. Even when familiar keeps you small. That is the quiet trap. You do not always choose what helps you grow. You often choose what feels safe. And sometimes, safety is just fear wearing a soft mask. And this is where most people misunderstand change. They think change begins with motivation. So when they feel stuck, they search for more energy. They watch one more video. They buy one more notebook. They build one more routine. And for a few days, it works. They feel awake again. They feel powerful again. They feel like the new version is finally here. But then real life comes back. Pressure returns. Old emotions return. Old fears return. And suddenly, the old version takes control again. You think you failed because you did not want enough. But actually, motivation was never the main problem. Motivation is only a spark. It cannot repair a system protecting your old identity. You cannot outmotivate a life built to keep you unchanged. But here's the hidden truth. You are not only fighting laziness. You are fighting patterns trained into you for years. Your brain remembers what helped you feel emotionally safe. Avoiding rejection. Staying quiet. Not trying too hard. Not standing out. Giving up before anyone could judge you. At one time, these behaviors may have protected you, but now they are quietly limiting you. You think the system wants success, but actually it wants safety. It does not ask, will this make me better? It asks, will this keep me safe? That is why growth feels uncomfortable. Not because it is wrong, because your mind treats new behavior like danger. The part of you that wants freedom is fighting the part of you that learns survival. And this is how the system keeps working quietly. It does not stop you with a loud warning. It stops you with small feelings. A little doubt before you begin. A little boredom when things get hard. A little fear when people might notice you. Then a little comfort when you return to old habits. You think these feelings are signs, but actually they're old alarms. So you obey them. You say, I am not ready. You say, I need more time. You say, I will start when I feel confident. But confidence does not come before action. Confidence is built after action. The system tricks you into waiting for a feeling that only comes after movement. So you stay still, waiting to feel ready. And every day you wait, the system gets stronger. Being stuck is not always doing nothing. Sometimes it is preparing forever, but never crossing the line. And this is where it changes. You stop asking, what is wrong with me? And you start asking, what pattern is controlling me? That question gives you distance. You begin to see your behavior instead of becoming it. You notice when fear calls itself logic. You notice when comfort becomes a trap. You notice when your mind builds excuses to protect your old life. You think self-awareness is soft, but actually it is power. This is not about hating yourself. It is about understanding yourself. Because once you see the pattern, you can interrupt it. And once you interrupt it, it loses control. You do not need to become a new person overnight. You only need to stop obeying the old script. Awareness is the first crack in the system. But if you never question the system, it keeps shaping your life quietly. You call fear being realistic. You call delay waiting for the right time. You call comfort peace, even when it slowly drains you. You think nothing is happening, but actually, your life is being trained. Years can pass like this, not because you chose failure directly, but because you kept choosing relief in the moment. That is how people lose themselves. Not in one big disaster, in small daily agreements with a version of them that fears change. And the hardest part is this. Nobody may notice. Your life can look normal outside, while inside you feel trapped. A quiet life can still be a prison when it is built from fear. So, how do you break the system? Not by changing everything at once. That only scares your mind and makes the old pattern stronger. You break it by attacking the pattern at the smallest point. Pick one behavior you keep repeating. One delay, one avoidance, one excuse. Then make the next step so small that fear cannot build a story around it. Do not say, I will fix my whole life. Say, I will do this one thing for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of writing, 5 minutes of cleaning, 5 minutes of studying, 5 minutes of applying. You think the goal is perfection, but actually the goal is proof. Every small action tells your brain, I can move before I feel ready. And that proof starts rewriting the system. You do not escape by thinking harder. You escape by taking one honest step before fear starts negotiating. Feeling stuck does not mean your life is over. It means a pattern has been running longer than you realized. And now you're starting to see it. That matters more than you think, because the system loses power when it is exposed. You may still feel doubt. You may still feel resistance. You may still hear the old voice telling you to wait. But now you know the truth. You think that voice is wisdom, but actually, sometimes it is just fear protecting its old position. So do not wait to feel completely ready. Move small. Move honestly. Move today. The hidden system controls you only until you interrupt it.